Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at the champions of the first founding. This video is sponsored by the Game Bunker. More on that later. The big summer preview, champions of the first founding. Some Space Marine chapters have been getting a lot of attention of late. What with the awesome recent release for the Space Wolves and the Black Templars following soon, but there's plenty more to come for the Adeptus Astartes. 5 of the original first founding chapters have stunning new miniatures unveiled today, along with thematic combat patrol boxes. Alright, so 5 new miniatures and then 5 new chapter combat patrols. Awesome. So first we have for the Salamanders, Vulcan H. This is absolutely amazing. By far the #1 miniature I would want for Salamanders. First up is the classic hero reforged for a new age, Vulcan H, Forge Father of the Salamanders chapter. It is Heston's job to hunt down the scattered relics of the Primarch Vulcan, as it is said that when all 9 are brought together, the Salamander's Gene Father will return to them. To aid him in his search, the Forge Father is armed with 3 of the recovered relics, the Spear of Vulcan, the Gauntlet of the Forge, and Caesari's Mantle. These masterwork armaments turn an already formidable fighter into a veritable demigod on the battlefield, improving any flame or melta wielding allies nearby while boosting his Feel No Pain ability to an incredible 4+, once Heston plants his feet on the chosen objective. We even get to see Vulcan's face for the first time, and judging by the scars, he's been on his quest for quite some time. Alright, so very cool. Obviously, Vulcan Heston already has some rules in the Space Marine Codex, but I would expect them to be updated. It does sound like from what they have here, the Feel No Pain and then also the Flame and Melta augmentation, that those are going to be the same, but very likely we see like some slight changes, maybe a new data sheet, and then of course points to reflect it. But this model is absolutely amazing. The old model was super cool, but it was in like resin. This one is going to be a new plastic kit and upsized to meet like the typical size of the Primaris Marines. And I gotta say, he looks absolutely amazing. Alright, and then next we have for the Imperial Fist, Darnath Lysander. As the captain of the first company, Darnath Lysander is a legend of the Imperial Fist who leads a signature mass Terminator assault from the front. Having perfected the ability to accurately teleport large number of troops at the same time, he was once lost in the warp for over a millennia by the Holy Terror's reckoning, but swiftly earned his position back at the head of the chapter's veterans with his exemplary, if sometimes controversial, service. Lysander's classic Terminator armor has been brought bang up to date while retaining much of his unique design, from the large chapter icon on his chest to the incredible fist-shaped thunderhammer, the Fist of Dorn. The large storm shield he carries has been resculpted with immaculate detail while hewing close to the original design, and his iron halo now more suitably crowns such a delighted son of Rogel Dorn. So again, absolutely amazing. A new model for Darnath Lysander is absolutely perfect. The old model was cool. Again, he already has rules in the Space Marine Codex, but an updated miniature brought up to scale with the rest of the range is perfect. I love the detail on the shield. The Fist of Dorn is absolutely awesome. The icon on his back. We've got 2 different head options, helmeted and then unhelmeted. And then of course a beautiful flowing cape and a nice tactical rock. Very, very cool. And again, he already has some rules, but we've heard rumors of like codex supplements coming for these other chapters. But realistically, just a new data sheet for them and then the updates that they've already put out for like some of the other like various chapter rules that were already in the Space Marine Codex could definitely make some of these other chapters much more of a viable option instead of just going with like generic Ultramarines or choosing one of the non-codex compliant chapters. And I think realistically, just like one extra character or like some updated data sheets, a couple new models can easily make some of these other chapters much more viable options. Very, very cool. Alright, and then next we have the Raven Guard, Aethon Shaan. Aethon Shaan is currently the chapter master of the Raven Guard, and we know what you're thinking. Wait, shouldn't that be Kaivan Shrike? Isn't Shaan his first captain? Well, Shrike has believed for a while that the Raven Guard required a more balanced exemplar of their shadowy Primarch's teachings, and it speaks to Shrike's own strength of character that he would willingly step aside once he identified such a warrior, the warrior as Captain Shaan. Shaan's ascension wasn't without merit, as the new chapter master is as deadly and pragmatic of a warrior, extensive experience fighting in full spectrum of mankind's enemies, including the forces of chaos alongside Uriel Ventress in the novel chapters 2. This impressive miniature is dripping with Corvidae details, from the cloak of the sable feathers and curved claws to his armored talon feet and the wing servo units built around his bird skulls. It also packs 3 different head options, so you can feature him hooded, helmeted, or with his own locks flowing free. Okay, so absolutely amazing. This time we get a brand new data sheet, a brand new model, and this will theoretically go alongside Shrike. So again, we could expect to see a new data sheet for him and then also some updated rules for Shrike. But again, one more special character is really all you need for somebody like the Raven Guard to suddenly become like a viable option with the extra rules associated with them. In the update from the Codex that we saw like recently, an extra data sheet now, and then still the ability to take Shrike, who is already a cool model in his own right, but obviously does not even come close to standing up to how awesome this dude is. Very, very cool, and so far, in my opinion, the most impressive of the new models. This is an absolutely amazing sculpt.
Now a quick word from today's sponsor, Game Bunker.
Game Bunker carries a full range of Games Workshop products including miniatures, terrain, paint, tools, and more. Game Bunker offers 15% off MSRP for most Games Workshop products with the discount code WHMS. Receive free shipping in the continental United States on orders over $145. Online orders ship out within 24 hours. Game Bunker is a veteran-owned business. Use affiliate link below, enter discount code WHMS to save 15% on most items at checkout. For fast, friendly service with a discount on your favorite tabletop wargaming purchases, visit GameBunker.net and let them know that Warhammer Man sent you. Alright, and then for the Iron Hands, we have Caanok Var. There are few Iron Hands that exemplify their chapter's creed more than Caanok Var, the Iron Captain of Clan Averni, the most heavily augmented veterans of their brotherhood. He is a merciless and efficient warlord who has been on the forefront of the Iron Hands wars for longer than they can remember. Sustained by ancient masterwork augmetics that encompass almost his entire body, in fact some say that his left eye is the last original part of Caanok Var, with the rest given over to the Blessed Machine. Like all members of Clan Averni, Var feels like more than burning hatred for his chapter's enemies, but he maintains an onward appearance of cold and stoic logical typical of the Iron Hands. His extensive suite of bionics and data tethers feeds real-time battlefield data right into his mind so he can formulate efficient solutions on the fly. And if that isn't enough to secure his victory, his enormous power Tetsubo will simply crush whatever stands before him. Okay, so again, absolutely awesome model right here. We have a new character for the Iron Hands. And again, that's really all they need is maybe just like some slight rules updates, a new character, and then of course a new model to just make these guys a viable option on the tabletop. We can see now that in addition to like the Gravis Tech Marine that we previously had with Ironfather Pharos, we now have a Terminator character with an absolutely beautiful sculpted model, and then of course some awesome new rules to go along with it. Very, very cool. And then last but not least of the new characters, we have the White Scars Suboden Khan. As the right hand of the Great Khan and leader of the White Scars Permanent Spearpoint Brotherhood, Suboden Khan is one of the chapter's mightiest heroes. He led the White Scars 5th Company for over 2 centuries before being awarded command of his veterans, with a skill as a warrior matched by only his master of strategy on sector-wide scale. Like many of his brothers, Suboden Khan fights best from the saddle, cutting bloody swathe through hordes of foes with elegant power lance. His grab bike packs much more heavy firepower than other steeds of his size, mounting an onslaught Gatling cannon in the front that effortlessly shreds lightly armored foes before plowing through enemy lines at lightning speed. Okay, so finally a White Scars character, a Khan on bike, an absolutely essential unit for the White Scars. We needed like a mounted character that's special to them. Of course, a new datasheet, a new model, and I absolutely love this guy. Beautiful sculpt, the pose is awesome, the details are awesome, the hover bike, absolutely amazing. This is going to completely change the game for the White Scars. All 5 of these characters will have their rules available for free download on the Warhammer community website on release, so you can get them onto the battlefield as soon as the glue is dry. Okay, so very important, we're seeing like new rules for all of them, so that means new datasheets, new points, all that good stuff. So even though some of them already have rules, we would expect them to be either revised or brand new rules, and potentially make all 5 of these chapters a completely viable option in fun and competitive play. And then moving on from there, we have 5 new combat patrols as well. Each chapter will also be getting a new combat patrol box, set up to give you a great thematic starting point for the rest of your collection. You get plenty of flame and melta weapons for the Salamanders, resilient defensive forces for the Imperial Fist and Iron Hands, stealth and jump infantry for the Raven Guard, and all-out speed for the White Scars. Speaking of the White Scars, their combat patrol is a little special too. It's the first place you'll be able to get Suboden Khan, leading a screaming fast team of Outriders and Assault Intercessors mounted in an Impulsor. Okay, so first off we have the Salamanders, and it looks like you're going to get 5 Infernus Marines. Then you're going to get Agdrex Agathon, an absolutely awesome character and quintessential part of the Salamanders force. And then of course the only new character model available. Then you're going to get a squad of 3 Eradicators, 10 Assault Intercessors, and an Invader ATV. So very cool, very thematic force, and definitely a great jumping off point for the Salamanders. And this will go along perfectly with Vulcan Heston. And then next we have the Salamanders, so you're going to get the company champions, which of course includes a captain model. You're going to get 5 Terminators, and then you're going to get 2 squads of 5 heavy intercessors. So again, really nice, really thematic force, excellent combat patrol. And then moving over to the Raven Guard, we've got 5 jump pack intercessors, a captain with jump pack to lead them. We've got 10 infiltrators, and then an Invictor tactical warsuit. So very thematic, very cool. And then again, this is going to go along perfectly with the new Raven Guard character. And then next we have the Iron Hands, so you're going to have 1 Tech Marine, you're going to have 2 of the Firestorm turrets, and then you're going to have 2 squads of 5 heavy intercessors. So very thematic. Not sure about the Firestorm turrets, but maybe they could get like some upgraded rules to make them a more viable option, but definitely cool nonetheless. And then last but not least, we have the White Scars, so you're going to get 3 of the Outriders, you're going to get the new Khan miniature included in the box set. You're going to get 5 assault intercessors, and then of course an impulsor to transport them. So not a ton of models in this set, but you do get the new character. Some very nice boxes right here. We'll have to take a look over time at the actual value inside of them, see what kind of savings these have relative to each other and the other combat patrols available. But I absolutely love that we're seeing a new combat patrol for each of these chapters, and each one is very thematic. To cap it all off, new dice sets for all 5 chapters will also be available alongside their combat patrols, although we don't have any pictures to show off just yet. In the meantime, head back to the Big Summer Preview Hub to see what else has been revealed today. Okay, so very cool. We have 5 new characters, 1 for each of these chapters. We have 5 new combat patrols, and then we also have some dice and new rules coming. I think this is absolutely awesome. As somebody that loves Space Marines and loves all of the various different chapters, the way that they play on the tabletop, and then having different rules to reflect them, I think this is a home run by Games Workshop. Each of the characters is an absolutely beautiful sculpt and something that the chapters desperately needed, and then having a nice combat patrol and some dice to go along with them, and then rules to supplement them on the tabletop is a perfect way to launch a new army or supplement someone's existing army. So 10 out of 10, I love this. Makes me want to play all of them. Let me know what you think of the new models, of the new combat patrols. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to the Game Bunker for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products with code WHMS at checkout. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I am out of here.